Ketchup. I think there's one more I'm forgetting about, but they have a lot of good juniors just like crawling around in that region.
That's
So
such an interesting character to have an influx
yeah, it's so
of
weird. It's so weird.
all in
But
one place. Like no one, people barely use the character. It's so crazy how this stuff works. But that's right. Yeah, we got Webb also coming out with the newly minted. I say newly, but this has been kind of the ambition for a lot of months now.
So I know recently on Twitter he's been coming to like terms with, rather not really coming to terms with, just like, all right, I've had ZSS for a while now. I've been using it for so long. Like, can't people just call me a Zero Suit Samus main at this point? Like, I think because Lucas is more of an anomaly, honestly, in the meta of like characters that you see that are good. Like everyone's seen a good ZSS before, but a good Lucas is a lot more rare. So, and that was the first thing that Webb popped off with. But at this point, he does see himself as a Zero Suit main. So as a commentator, I feel like it's my duty to perceive him as such, and you know, so this is the character he wants to be noteworthy for and recognized for. You know, he is a Lucas Zero Suit, or rather Zero Suit Lucas co-main. Like he has been opting to go for the Zero Suit primarily, and using Lucas as more of a counterpick character these days. So this thing has seen its fair time in war, and now we're just witnessing the ascension, I guess, of Webb ZSS, because the transition between both characters is almost seamless for him. I feel like he can perform fantastically with either character at this point, and they're almost, I'd say, an equal threat in terms of experience and set play at this point.
Now it is, and it's actually been a lot of fun to watch that growth, because it did not used to be like that a few months ago. He's really put a lot of work into his character. But speaking of work into character, apparently so is Nomex, dude. I never really see Junior play ever, but he's making this character really good.
He's a weird character. You have to be aware of all. I feel like Bowser Jr. players are the type of players you don't want to meet in like a dark alley at night. Like they've just got all kinds of little tricks up their sleeve, and they're gonna find ways to into hitting you with some crazy stuff. Like this character has a lot of low lows, but his high highs are also really good as well. Like that up air, for example, is a fantastic combo tool. Mecha Koopa being a pretty good throwing projectile. Side B being a fantastic tempo mix-up in neutral as well, just for allowing him to approach a lot more quickly than most other characters, especially with the buff it received recently, where I believe the armor is a little bit stronger now, so not as many moves can hit him out of it. So it makes him a real threat. And already we saw that right there, just the up air, back air right there being a lot of damage being dealt to Webb already.
Yeah, and Webb just trying to find a hit at this point. Still sitting at 9%.
Oh my.
Yo! Oh, all right, man. We got it. Jeez.
Nomex went ham.
Oh, like, let's take it easy, huh?
This toddler is going a little too aggressive in playtime right now.
Goodness.
I don't know what Bowser's feeding him.
Yeah, looking sharp though. Even this first stock, like look how he goes out there.
Aggression.
He covered everything.
That was so cool. That was such great coverage on Nomex's part. He like really maximized the amount of, because that's the thing. Junior has the traditional double jump, but if you do side B, you get a third jump out of it. So you can cover off stage quite a bit with this character. Like, I think that the extra third jump and versatility that side B allows Junior to have is just like something that every player has to be cognizant of. This edge guard was fantastic. Like, when have you ever seen ZSS get edge guarded like that?
Not like that. And that's the crazy thing too, is that like Nomex made flip kick look like just like a non-issue. You know what I mean? That is such a good recovery move that is like kind of domineering in so many characters. But like the way Bowser Jr. was able to just go out there,
he just went ham.
And Nomex just sort of was putting out all the options and covering the highs and the lows.
That's the thing, is that Junior's aerials, I feel like, are just fantastic. Like, they're some of the best. Like, they're good for a Smash character. They have so much range. They come out quickly. They hit fairly hard. Like, he can wall out quite a bit with it. It's just, it's really in the hands of a Bowser Jr. player not to get lost in the sauce of side B and stuff like that, and not to overextend. But I feel like Nomex has got a really fantastic grasp on like how to move with this character, like how to use his strengths to the best of their ability, while accenting like, yeah, Bowser Jr. does have weaknesses, but I'm going to avoid them at all costs. Oh man, that's the one thing you don't want to get hit by right there, Chris, is up there or up air. That thing can lead into so much damage off of just one combo.
Yeah, and the thing about the one thing I'm noticing here And then the one thing I want to point out about Webb is a really, really smart player where you'll see him go down really big, like in that first game, and then he just makes really good adjustments, really on the fly, really smart in that regard. And he's been able to do that more and more with Zero Suit, really getting these close sets in the end after maybe getting molly-whopped game 1. And, you could tell this character isn't the start because how often do you fight Bowser Jr., right?
Not often. He's definitely a rarity. Like, there are enough of them out there to know the matchup, but not enough ones, I feel like, at a skill level of Nomex's. I feel like for you to be like, all right, I'm very confident against this character. Like, I guarantee this Webb definitely doesn't have as much experience as he'd probably feel comfortable with against this character just because of how much of a rarity it is.
Especially with the Zero Suit a little on the newer end.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I could see maybe bumping into some Bowser Jr.'s later, or, earlier on when he would still take Lucas to those next games, be like, all right, let me just get past this part in bracket. But he hasn't really done that much at all, actually. So, kind of learn on the fly here. Good recovery. Adjusting really nicely to all the things Nomex has been doing off stage. And honestly, staying alive pretty good. Kind of... Oh my god.
Oh my, yeah, so the weird thing about the cannonball is that it floats for a while, and after a certain point, it just gives up on being what it is and just starts falling very slowly. So, like, certain juniors throw it in such a strange arc that, like, it goes straight for a little bit really slowly, then once the speed gets below, like, a certain amount, it just kind of craps out and starts falling.
Dude,
oh my god.
Yeah, that was obviously calculated. I guess that's just like probably an edge guard if you know this character. Look, he's doing it again.
Here it is right here, yeah. A lot of juniors will use it just like when they have the time to exactly do that. Just like cover their landing a lot of the time. Because you never expect it. You're like, okay, that's going straight, that's not gonna hit me. And then you just get bonked on the head. You're like, what was that? Like, what the hell?
Especially because you see cannonballs sometimes in this game. Otherwise, like you see it with K-Rool and they just don't work like that. So sometimes even just the visual could throw you off. But Nomex is really all over Webb. Webb gonna have to find something quick here and may have it. I was expecting to see maybe something like a flip kick. I don't think he felt really confident enough. And I don't
He's covering his landing so well too, with both Mecha Koopa and Cannonball. Like, my man is not leaving himself susceptible to getting whacked because ZSS is quite the character to edge guard you and can cover a good amount of range as well. Great back air from Webb right there. I think Junior also still has the same thing in this game where if you hit him and not the clown cart, he will fly further in terms of knockback because supposedly if you hit the cart, he doesn't fly as far as he would if you hit Junior himself.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too. It's interesting how they kind of balance that with this character. It's actually really cool.
So many characters in this game just have weird little quirks like that, but I feel like Junior is a newcomer that not enough people, like too many people sleep on in terms of how creatively he was built.
Yeah, for sure, especially with that whole weight with the cart thing. It's a really good thought. Like, it makes sense with physics, and really a character that has anything really close to that. But, dude, I feel like Webb has done such a good job adapting, and this is kind of what I was telling you with the start of this game, so I'm not at all surprised to see it. I won't be surprised if this comes down into one of these. This is what happens to Webb sometimes, is we'll see him go in these intense game threes where it's kind of just so hot and cold in different parts, and then last hit clutches it, or last hit, he gets clutched. But wow, really good reaction on
that. Is there a jump left on that Junior? Apparently there is. My man skirting in the Lambo into the lane.
Yeah.
I feel like Webb as a player, you have to take him out before he gets too hot, because once he gets working like this and he starts adapting to how he should be spacing against you, how he should be channeling aggression, if he should be zoning out more, or if he should be chasing the opponent a little bit more, that's when he gets its scariest, because I feel like once he's tapped in, he's one of the hardest players in these tournaments to vanquish.
He's got a really good focus about him, man, and I think a lot of I think Webb is that case of just he's going to, he's grinding. He's grinding really hard. And
he's a grinder.
Keep getting the results the more he's putting in the time, because it seems like he's learning from the things he's doing wrong, and we're seeing this. You're seeing this happen on the spot. Like,
yeah,
he's
definitely a good student of the game. I'd say, like, he just learns so well. He doesn't get down himself for like all this stuff. Like, this is definitely like a good player mentality that he has going on.
There's a confidence mentality, and I think that's so important, especially when you get hit by stuff like that. That looks so. It does. It looks so
That's so goofy. But he's learning. He's covering the high and low recoveries from Nomex. So I think Nomex is going to have to mix up his recoveries a little bit more because Webb seems very cognizant of the fact that Nomex has been opting to go high a majority of the time. I'm loving also the side B usage from Webb. I think he's using it in the perfect spots as well.
Yeah, he's honestly, he's playing amazingly. Like, this is one of those really close sets again, and we get these a lot in DNA top 16s. Because these brackets have a tendency to get stacked, and we do get a lot of character specialists and unique players and regular players, Webb being one of those regular players. So there's pretty much always good gameplay here at the very least, and I'm happy to be able to say that.
Yeah, for real.
This is now a really
you witness the growth of WebbJP.
Yeah, man, this is the good stuff, and this is the stuff you find with some of the smaller streams, and the benefit of sort of chilling in some of the same streams and just getting to know people. Like, you know, the come-ups look a little different for people, and seeing the results look a little different, and I do think a lot of it's mindset. And, you know, you get to see that in these sets where you kind of are getting beat up, and then you settle things down, and you come back and you start doing some of the beatings. So we'll see what Game 3 holds. We're on PS2. And, yeah, I don't really know what to expect here. Nomex, though, with a little bit of an early lead and a scary position for Webb because, again, not knowing what goes on. Totally with Bowser Jr. and being behind so far, like, you know, a lot of things can kill you. There could be some surprise options in there that he hasn't even seen yet from Nomex.
Game 3, though, I think what you said might come true for this game. I feel like we're in for a very, very close game. Every time.
Like, DNA, it's not scripted, but, like, the way things play out sometimes, like, I swear, there's definitely patterns. And I think that's just the players, man. Like, that's the game. It's interesting when you look at it like that. But, yeah, because we're going to see it. It's going to be like a last hit sort of, at the very least, come down to last stop.
Oh, yeah. 100%. We're seeing it already, literally. It's like nobody's getting, like, a firm upper hand on the other. Like, they're just both hitting each other with everything they've got, really. Wow, that was a fantastic catch with the Mecha Koopa right there.
Dude, this is so scary off stage. Both of these guys are freaking relentless, dude, and that's going to seal up
stock so
number 1 here, and that was really good patience from Webb, capitalizing right when he needed to.
Yes, so the win condition for Junior right there is getting that jab. If my man can get that jab at ledge, he will be able to get pretty nice kills consistently off the side, but Webb was just so patient and shield, waited the entire time. Got that excellent boost kick once he realized Nomex just kept on fishing for it.
Yeah, and, you know, we're just keeping things so even. I mean, Nomex is, they take their turns, right? Like, you're seeing Nomex press advantage, and you're seeing Webb press advantage. Webb currently the one pressing. And honestly, it does kind of look like Nomex a little bit on the back foot. I feel like there's a little bit of hesitation, but he's starting to at least gain a little bit of traction now. I guess it's his turn.
Uh-oh. Ooh, yeah, that dash attack being kind of laggy right there. Webb with the excellent chase. Is that going to be a stock? Not yet.
That was
Junior
so good, though. Really good prediction of Nomex's movements. Watched him roll back and have the option ready, and that is that's honestly so clutch for ZSS or a lot of these characters that have those vertical kills that hit you like Mega Man up tilt, or, you know, even on a simpler ending like Snake up tilt, like chase and then do your move.
God, that was scary.
Yeah, that was
one
scary.
more of those. I think
because that back air hits hard.
Webb, though, managing himself in the corner really, really nicely right there, like not letting himself get stuck. And again, Nomex getting called out for trying to guess a jab on an approach, and he's coming up pushing daisies for it.
So this is, I think, when you start to see some of the exploits of, you know, you hear things like low tier, and, you know, there's been a lot of dispute and chat about how stepped on Bowser Jr. is, and I think so too. But when you see mechanics like that, where you're kind of like a sitting duck for other characters like ZSS that might have some of those more top tier tools, and it starts to make a little bit of sense. That's when the neutral becomes a little bit more important. And being able to sort of use your character's advantages, but like if you're stuck in a rapid jab and you're Bowser Jr. and you're ZSS, like that's free, but keeping things
still
tit for tat.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, as Nomex.
This could go either way. Nomex just really has to make the stock count and not get trapped, and like he's got to really play it by ear instead of trying to predict Webb's movement a lot of the time, because if he gets called out one more time for doing that jab, that's going to spell curtains for him, because Webb has slowly become like acclimated to all of Junior's tricks. That was a great poke with Zare right there to stop the side B approach. Oh, that was such a
goodness.
well-timed attack.
Yeah, that was scary, dude. Nothing that would have killed him, but like, yeah, any damage now really matters in this position. Oof.
Oh, wow.
Very stressful with that clown car exploding. You just kind of don't know. A little volatile of a move, and you don't see his character time getting to be last hit. You know, that could be like that little nuance you're saying in your character that you might know. And yeah.
Oh god. This is looking very scary right now for Nomex. Webb is looking hella confident in advantage.
He is, you know, and we'll see if that wins him the game. I think he's looking extremely confident, and I think he has good reasons to. Nomex, though, thrown out.
Oh, wow. He got
what a way to end.
Yeah, for real. The patience on Webb, though. He was put in the corner so many times there. He waited so well, yeah.
Nomex was honestly playing incredible, and I think Webb just really just sort of adjusted. And I really, you know, the thing I said before, I really just think it kind of comes down to some of the character stuff.
That's the WebbJP factor right there.
Yeah, and
yeah, definitely character stuff. I feel like just because Junior's flaws are very glaring.
Look at that, like he was just stuck
he's got he's got so many good tools, but unfortunately, a lot of the stuff that gives him his win conditions are a little bit risky to go for. So you have to exert like a very high level of patience to play Junior. And thing is, I feel like a character like ZSS with the mobility she has, it allows Webb to find a lot more openings in the cracks in Bowser Jr.'s armor. And just also Webb as a player just seemed a lot more patient in the scrap situations right there. Nomex was pretty much seen committing, getting a little antsy in parts where Webb kind of got things a little too hot under the collar for him. Yeah, look at this right here. That was look at the patience right here from both players. That was so good. But then just getting caught. Man got caught slipping.
Yeah.
That'll be it for that. So
yeah, that
was still really good play from both people. Nomex has had a pretty incredible run so far, so I want to see him keep it up.
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of Nomex, dude. I love seeing the unique characters.
For sure.
You know, as you know, a little bit of my bias coming out, the stream and everything. It's nice to see Webb clutch those out because he really is out here every single week. Like, and seeing the progress is really cool. Like,
it's really good.
It's cool seeing that sort of thing in a player, and Webb has been really kind of showing us that, you know, for months now, since quarantine started. Just a little bit of like a trackable journey if you ever decide to take a dive into some of the DNA VODs, but.